Imagine getting paid just for sharing your thoughts on products and services you use every day. With Survey Junkie, it's that simple. Click on the link in the video description to discover how you can start earning today by taking surveys.
Rishi Sunak pledged to be the party of Margaret Thatcher, as a wide range of cuts are unveiled today in a manifesto launch the Premier hopes will reignite his flagging general election campaign. Putting the tax divide with Labour at the heart of the Tory campaign, he will invoke the record of Margaret Thatcher and say the Conservatives have a moral mission to cut taxes. Today's blueprint is expected to include a promise of a further 2p cut in national insurance, along with a pledge to phase out the double tax on jobs completely when resources allow. Mr. Sunak will also revive the Help to Buy scheme, which offered discounted mortgages for first-time buyers, and vow to axe stamp duty on properties up to £425,000 in a bid to help people get their first foot on the rung of the property ladder. But Tory right rivals such as Sala Braverman and Robert Jenrick are waiting in the wings and threatening to swoop if the manifesto flops by calling for tougher action on immigration and the human rights law. It comes after the Prime Minister promised action on housing after last night admitting in a BBC interview that it had got harder to buy a home. Mr. Sunak will say today, "We Conservatives have had to take difficult decisions because of COVID. But we are now cutting taxes for earners, parents and pensioners. We are the party of Margaret Thatcher and Nigel Lawson, a party, unlike Labour, that believes in sound money. We believe that it is morally right that those who can work do work, and hard work is rewarded with people being able to keep more of their own money. Tax, 2p cut in national insurance, along with ambition to eventually abolish the second tax on jobs. Triple tax lock ensuring no rise in headline rates of income tax, national insurance, or VAT. Family home tax guarantee, pledging no increase in stamp duty or capital gains tax on the family home and no new council tax bans or revaluations. Threshold for first-time buyers paying stamp duty raised to £425,000. Health, pledge to recruit thousands more doctors and nurses. Raise legal smoking age every year to prevent anyone aged under 16 ever being able to legally take up the habit. Increasing the role of pharmacists to free up millions of GP appointments. Building 50 new diagnostic centres and 100 new GP surgeries. A £86,000 cap on social care costs. Education and children. Ban the teaching of a contested gender ideology in schools. Double the income threshold at which families start to lose child benefit from £60,000 to £120,000. Scrap Mickey Mouse degrees to release funding for extra 100,000 apprenticeships. Immigration. Introduce a new legal cap on immigration, with MPs voting each year on the total number of visas which should be issued. Press ahead with the plan to send Channel migrants to Rwanda next month. Defense. Guarantee that defense spending will rise to 2.5% of GDP by 2030. Introduce national service. Pensions. Triple lock plus to raise personal allowance for pensioners to ensure the basic state pension is never hit by income tax. Police and crime. Recruit an extra 8,000 police officers to beef up neighborhood policing. Increase the minimum tariff for murders in the home from 15 years to 25. Step up stop and search powers to tackle knife crime. We will ensure that we have lower welfare so we can lower taxes. The Prime Minister will add, Keir Starmer takes a very different view. He says he's a socialist, and we know what socialists always do, take more of your money. Ministers hope that today's manifesto launch in the Midlands will turbocharge a Conservative campaign which has so far failed to dent Labour's massive lead in the polls. Yesterday the PM sought to draw a line under the row about his decision to come home early from last week's D-Day events in Normandy. He said he absolutely didn't mean to cause anyone any hurt or upset and appealed to people to find it in their hearts to forgive me. Mr. Sunak said critics were wrong to write me off and vowed to fight until the last day of the campaign to keep Sir Keir Starmer out of number 10. Today he will acknowledge the government has raised the tax burden to record levels to pay for COVID spending and support payments during the energy crisis. But he will insist that, with the economy now stabilized, it is time to start cutting taxes again. The PM will